Hey gang, I hope everyone's doing great on this Tuesday morning. Please excuse the unshaven bum look. I'm in tinkering and building mode this week, so I don't have any client work on, which means that I'm just sort of getting out the shower and getting into work and not worrying about shaving or anything like that this week. So I just wanted to show you some of the stuff that I've been working on here with recently MURAL and Zapier announced an integration, and obviously most people know what Zapier is. It makes our lives much easier from an automation and an efficiency perspective. And for those of you that know me, I am an efficiency nut. If I can make anything more efficient, I absolutely will every single time. So I've been playing around with how this might look with our messaging sprint to make things some of the between platforms issues that I've always run into with sprints. So between Trello and MURAL, how to make that more efficient, easier on the facilitator. Anything I can do to make life easier for the facilitator, I will always do, because as you know, facilitating one of these sprints is an emotionally exhausting time. So there's just so much to keep thinking about at all times that the more I can take off the facilitator's plate, the better. But also there are some other opportunities for automating within MURAL as well. So I just wanted to show you some of the stuff that I've been playing with here. So I'm just using our messaging sprint canvas here as a test, like a messaging sprint Zapier test here. And what I've done in our messaging sprint, we bring stuff over from both review mining and our transformation grid boards. And what we previously had to do was create those stickies during a break. We had to, when we sent the group on a break, we had to then duplicate the content that we had decided on in this exercise. We had to then move that over onto the MURAL canvas whilst the group was on a break. But having this MURAL and Zapier connection now has allowed me to restructure the messaging sprint in the order that it should have been structured in, that I've always felt that it should have been structured in, based on the order that we want these exercises to go in, based upon how we want to build, and then what we end up with here. So I've been experimenting with, as I said, with this connection. And if I have a look over here on my Zapier, I set up a new Zapier account, just a free account for this. And I want to talk about what you can do with the paid account as well. So this is just a new free account that I made in Zapier. And you can see I've set up a couple of Trello review mining to MURAL Scratchpad and Trello transformation grid to MURAL Scratchpad. These are essentially exactly the same zap, but just coming from a different Trello board. So it's pretty simple. Whenever you move a card into a list in Trello, it's going to trigger this. And so the trigger is going to be from the Scratchpad list. Any card that gets moved into that, it is going to, if I go down here, it is going to, the action, set up it up into the Scratchpad in the MURAL canvas. So what that looks like is, in the center of this canvas, I've added a Scratchpad. Now, this is essentially just a decision-making tool. This is where we store stuff that we're still discussing or deciding upon before we move it into its final end position. And so in my review mining and my transformation boards here, I've also added a Scratchpad list to the end of each board. You have these boards, by the way. If you're a member of any of our sprints, you have the review mining board, and if you're a member of the brand sprint blueprint, the messaging kit, you will have the transformation grid as well. And so you're just going to set up a Scratchpad list in here, and then over in Zapier, you're going to set up that connection that I just showed you to go from the Trello board to the MURAL canvas. And then all you do, let's say we're doing this exercise here, and we've decided that we want to talk about the problems. We want to get these problems into our MURAL canvas so we can then go on and make some decisions. So I just grab this card, I move it over here into the Scratchpad. So let's have a look here. When the guy showed up, the equipment didn't work and they had no backup plan. So if I now go back over to my messaging sprint, we can actually see that, if I click on X here to bring this out, when the guy showed up, the equipment didn't work and they had no backup plan. So that's the exact Trello card that I just moved, is now a sticky in my MURAL canvas. Now there are a couple of little gotchas here that I've been playing with. So for example, if I complete this, let's just go back and grab some more problems. Move these over into the Scratchpad. Let's just do 3 of them. So 3 of those in the scratch pad. If I go back over into my messaging sprint now, you can see there is only one here, or it looks like there's only one here. And it's because Mural puts them in the exact same spot, no matter how many you put in there. So if I keep these stacked on top of each other, the easiest way to do something about that is just to highlight them and then select Arrange in a grid. It's going to spread them out nicely. It's actually put them underneath my canvas there. Or as your team are doing this exercise, as they're moving stuff in review mining, you can be over here in the canvas and spreading them out. I've always preferred them to be spread out, looking a little bit more natural like this. But as you can imagine, if we're moving a whole bunch of stuff into that scratch pad and you've got a 3, 5, or 7 member team who are moving stuff at that time, you're going to really slow down. You're going to struggle to move this stuff all out. And it is very easy, if I just click back one, there's really no way to tell that there are 2 stickies there versus one. It's very easy to leave one in place over the top of another one by mistake if you are just dragging these out, because you might think you've got to the end and then someone adds one more at the exact same time someone else adds one more and you think it's the last one. Now you've got 2 stacked on each other and you're going to miss out on a bit of valuable information for your sprint, for your upcoming exercises. So again, 2 choices. You can arrange them in a grid or you can arrange them by hand whilst the team is moving them in there. And again, that's just, both of these have a scratch pad list. That will remain in this board now for future exercises. Again, this has only just been released by Zapier, so I'm tinkering right now. I'm playing with our existing sprints, and I'm just finding out how much more efficient I can make things. Now, I also mentioned that you can do more things within Mural. I don't. I'm not in this, certainly in our training. I am going to experiment in our professional services firm. And the reason being, Zapier has a pretty big limitation with regard to how long it takes between zaps to trigger. So in this case, Trello to Mural, it's an instant zap, which is fantastic. You move it into the list, bang, it's already over here. It's ready for you to do. So from an efficiency perspective, that's 100% right up my alley. That's exactly what I wanted to have in here. It can make your lives easier as facilitators of these sprints. Unfortunately, in the free plan, there is a 15-minute delay in certain zaps, and one of the zaps that has that delay is anything inside Mural, so Mural to Mural. So what you can do with Mural, if I just zoom out here very slightly, actually let me zoom in just on this center section decision-making box. So what you can do, we have a couple of pretty important elements that we're developing inside this this messaging sprint, and you can see from my subway map, I actually drew this subway map while I was working on my zaps, and when it worked out, when I realized that this was just not going to work out within Mural, I'm leaving the subway map in there just so that you can really easily see where these specific elements go and how much we can use them. So as I'm sure you can imagine already, we've got 3 things coming out of this Promised Land box. Using the Mural to Mural sticky duplication, you could put a sticky in there and have Mural do the duplication into those 3 places without you having to go in there and Command D it to make a duplicate, or Command C, Command V to do a copy and paste and move those new stickies around. The reason I'm not doing that is because there is that 15-minute delay. And there are elements of this, certainly this center section of our decision box, that are required in almost every single piece of messaging we do. What you're looking at here with the category narrative is the power behind all brand messaging. So if I were to put in a big relevant change here, knowing that that's going to be spread out in multiple places around this canvas, and then I had to wait 15 minutes for it to do that, for it to make that move around, obviously I'm either having to send people on break, which was the same issue I had before we had the Mural Zapier interaction, so that's less efficiency, so that's not a direction I'm going to go, or I'm going to have to be doing separate sections of the exercises that don't rely on that. And the stuff that doesn't come out of this decision box is supporting information. So we would essentially be creating the supporting information before the foundational information was in that exercise. So I'm not doing that either. However, if you have a paid Zapier account, this is what that can look like. The $20 a month one is just as problematic as the free one. Same 15-minute update time. So if you've got the $20 a month one, don't add any additional mural to mural sticky duplication within your canvas. But if you have the professional one or up, now you're down to a 2-minute update time. And in the one above that, at $300 a month, you're at a 1-minute update time. So you can see those exercises now become really dynamic. You bring everything over from your review mining, from your raw material that you've developed from your marketplace, all of that understanding that you've got of the marketplace in their own words. You bring that over through the instant Zapier connection from Trello into your mural canvas. If you've got this paid account for $49 or up a month, you can do the same thing. You can create areas within your canvas that will trigger duplicates into other areas within the canvas. You can also, because these paid accounts allow you to do multi-step zaps, that would be one zap. So the zap would be along the lines of, when area X receives a new sticky, step 1, add that sticky to area Y in exercise 1. Step 2, add that sticky to area Y in exercise 2. Step 3, add that sticky to area Y in exercise 3, etc. You will populate your foundational material for all of this messaging sprint, all of these exercises that rely on that real foundational stuff. You will automatically populate them whilst you're doing these exercises, and that's going to make the follow-up exercises faster and more efficient. Again, I'm not putting that in this training because one of the things that I said to everyone when I was building this is that you will not have to buy any additional assets. You will not have to employ any additional staff. You will not have to add anything else to what you already offer as a creative professional to be able to run these sprints. So we're using either Microsoft PowerPoint that you've got installed on your computer already, or you've got free Google Slides, or you've got, in our case, we use Keynote, which comes on every Mac anyway. You've got your Mural, which comes with that consultant's license that allows you to have the professional level version of your Mural account for free at no cost to you. And if you don't know how to do that yet, whether you're a member of the Brand Sprint Academy or not, if you don't know how to do that, DM me or message me and I'll be happy to tell you how to do that. We're using the free version of Trello, so of course I want to use the free version of Zapier as well. But I wanted to mention that there is that opportunity where you can really have this, you can shave probably quite a bit of time off your sprint if you were to set up those area to area zaps. And if you do want some help setting those up, if you do want some help understanding how to create areas within Mural, let me know. I'll be happy to talk you through it. And if I get enough people who ask me, maybe I'll put together a training on that as well, a blog post with some video or something like that, so that you can see exactly how you set up one of these canvases in case you do want to tweak these sprints into something totally unique for yourself in the future. Maybe you want to move some stuff around. Maybe you want to add an exercise that you're a specialist at, that you really like doing. Whatever, I'll leave that entirely up to you. If you want any help doing it, I'm happy to help. Just feel free to reach out at any time. So that's it for this one. I'm going to go back to tinkering. I'm going to go back to seeing how else I can make these sprints more efficient for you. I'm going to wind this video up here. And if you've got any questions, again, either DM me or put a comment in underneath this, and I'll be happy to show you how to get that Mural consultant's license, or walk you through how to create area-to-area duplication, even just setting up Zapier, whatever. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to help. So that's it for this one. I will see you on the next one.